At least I got a touchpad.
Get out the insurance cards. Get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends.
Yo, everybody,
Brought to you by drroto.com.
So let's get to it. Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah, it's a little late. It's a little spooky. Steve decided to show up. Fuego, Steve. A little spooky. Fuego, Steve. Ooh, yeah.
Steve, how you doing?
Spooky Steve today. You can see my teeth. It's an early Halloween Fuego Steve special.
I always like to do an ultra spooky contrarian show, and my lineups might be very spooky today because I am literally okay. I've just had a crazy day. As everybody gets the hell in here, Steve has been trying to get a hold of me all day. Most people have been. I was at a karate tournament trying to deliver the smackdown, and that did not happen because my guy was practically injured. Kind of like the UFC tonight, so I'm a little jacked up about the UFC event. Had a great night. 7-6 for my picks. RDR got smacked up. Freaking my parlay of pain was shot down by a nut punch. A nut punch. Not even. It was a knee to the solar plex, well, like the underbelly plexus, right? And the shin took the cup. Practically, this is what I think as a fighter, took the cup right into the nuts, and we got Kevin Halden with a 15-minute. He had over 5 minutes during the first round. He got like 10 minutes during the between rounds, and then they came out, and Mike Malott, typical Canadian. So I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I'm not trying to offend anybody. Total nice guy. Decide to let him dance around instead of finishing him when he could have. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Well, that's how it goes, right? I mean, that's why we play the games and we have fun. But sorry, but hey, that's over, and now we got football Sunday coming up.
We do. So I took all of my winnings and I put it on the under. And then RDR goes and gets hurt or whatever happens to him. Regardless, I said the under. It hit. I'm happy. Whatever. My boy lost, and he deserves to. Whatever happened with him was okay. But on a lighter note, because my opponent was not up to fighting me today, he bowed out. I took first place, and I tied for first place in weapons. But unfortunately, her kata was a higher difficulty, so they gave her the nudge, even though we tied. So that's fine. I lose for the season. I'm second overall in weapons. I'm first by like 1,000 in points.
Did you get your sword? Did you get your sword?
No, they didn't. They didn't offer the swords this year for my division. I'm like, come on, man! You gotta let the old guys go. You gotta let the old guys fight, man. Like, what the hell? Like, what? Yeah. It's okay, though. Believe me, the person who won the sword for the Grand Champions is the person that beat me. So if I would have beat her, I would have went on and won Grand Champion, and I would have got a sword. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So now I'm invited to the Grand Champion banquet, and there's supposed to be a fight that day. But that fight's going to be really hard. I mean, not hard. So there's going to be a championship fight. And, of course, the champion's part of that, me. And then from there, it goes to where we do the dinner. So I don't know if I can do everything because we just got to see. It's practically a month from now. But, man, we're here to talk NFL, the Ultra Contrarian show.
Yes.
Definitely had some great hits last week. How did you feel about last week, brother?
Yeah, we did really well, and just to let everyone know, it's a little dark on my end, but you definitely can hear me, and you can see my face a little. We did well, Leno. We did really well. Most of our plays hit. A couple of them were monster plays. So I was really happy, and we got some great plays coming up this week. It's a tough week, people. You got injuries, you got buys, you got
people coming
backups,
back.
you got people coming back. That's right.
Thing.
So
it's all thrown off, brother.
Yeah, you got all kinds of stuff. So just remember what we tell you tonight. Check Discord. We might make some updates. Check the injuries. Monday night. Monday night, you got some injuries. If you got Mike Evans, Mike Evans is going to play. We're mainly going to talk about the main slate, but check the Discord. I put in there earlier as soon as I was making a lineup with Deebo Samuel in it, and as I was making it on DraftKings, it says out. You know what I'm saying? It went from questionable to out as I was lineup, and I'm like, "What is Deebo out?" And my friend's like, "Wait," and so I just Googled real quick and said Deebo Samuel's out. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's do that lineup over." So. You got to watch it, and you got guys coming back. But let's do it. Let's get the money this week.
Let's get it, man. Let's do it. Yeah, and we dealt with injuries last week. The Puka injury and the Ibuka injury practically took out both my ultra contrarian lineups, putting me at 5-2.
Right.
Like I was able to cash on the DraftKings one, but I'm just gonna take the loss. I'll say it's a loss. I had 2 injuries on that, but we nailed some stuff, bro. And we said everybody should be playing Jacobs. And like the whole thing is just working out like what we're doing. So that's been the best part about the Ultra Contrarian show. So if you're new or you haven't really tuned into us or you've missed us because we go live at different times, not so much a set time because of my crazy schedule and Steve's crazy schedule. It's just the way it is. But at the end of the show, I will give out a DFS cash game lineup for both FanDuel and DraftKings. Steve will provide. Go ahead, tell him, Steve.
I'm going to give you a GPP lineup that you play in tournaments. And just remember, you're playing Heath's lineup to make that money so you can play the tournaments if you want. Last week, I had like half my lineup killed, but then a couple of the other plays didn't. So, I didn't do as well. But we're going to, with my stuff, you're shooting for the moon, you're not going to win. You may not win every week, and you may just cash or you may not cash at all. But when you hit that one lineup in that GPP, you are golden. And again, sorry that I'm so dark here. All right.
Spooky. But, I think it's spooky. I might dressed up, but it's too hot. It's like 80 degrees in Erie, PA in October. Like what? What is that about? Like, I want to be in a tank top, even though I won't. I mean, I will do this show in a tank top. Don't play me out on set. I got that karate body going on. Ooh, yeah. I know everybody was waiting for the first ooh, yeah of the day.
I'm looking at Chris Kennedy's rankings and making some changes to my lineup as we speak. So this is going to be that kind of week where you got to pay attention, who's playing, that kind of thing. So let's get into it.
And this really does give us an edge because everybody else has already put out their content. And all those changes literally just happened within the last like 5-6 hours. So all that content is outdated, unfortunately, at this point. There's different angles. I had DeAndre Swift as the
macho pick of the week. Ooh, yeah, but now he ain't looking too good. And that's changed the macho man's taste. Yeah.
So now,
that's right.
This is what we're doing. Right? So we're back to it. Let's get to it. Let's give people what they want. Bam. I don't give a crap, and I'm rolling it all day. On DK, this man is a nice little sleigh. But on FanDuel, they want to price him up. They're trying to play. I'm talking about my boy Caleb Williams. DK 5,800 and FanDuel 7,900. Bro, how you charging me 7,900? What do you be smoking? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Steve, I'm looking at both these plays right now. I am also looking at, of course, my top tier quarterback. I'm going, and you know this, Jaden Daniels. This is the week you're probably going to want to play Jaden Daniels. It's not that the fact that they're playing Dallas and Dallas sucks because they give up a lot of yards, but they're going to try. This game is going to shoot out. This is the week Jaden Daniels just goes off. So the 6,900 is a little crazy for me. And other than that, I like the Bryce Young 5,300. Steve, when you look at the slate and you hear those 3 players, what did you come up with? And did any of them fancy your tickle, or tickle your fancy.
Yeah, tickle my fancy for sure. Yeah, and it's Jaden Daniels. He should have a really good week. He's seventh in Chris's rankings this week. I like your plays, but the first guy you mentioned, Caleb Williams. He's 5,800, excuse me, on DraftKings. He's going against New Orleans. He's got a great matchup. He's hasn't really exploded. He's got a couple 20-point games. He had 19.9. But he's got 1,179 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's averaging 20 DK points, and he's facing New Orleans, who they can give up the pass. And so I really like Caleb Williams at that $5,600 price. If you wanted to, like you said, Jaden Daniels, great play, 6,900. So and when I'm from the GPP standpoint, well, is Daniels going to explode? Well, what's Daniels going to do? So the GPP standpoint, let's say he has a good week. Let's say he has 24, 26 points at that price, 6,900. Well, I think maybe Caleb Williams can do similar at 56, or at 5,800. So from the GPP perspective, I'm looking to pay down a little, but I love that play, Daniels, and I love Mahomes. He's 7,000 on DK, but he's the number 1 ranked quarterback in Chris Kennedy's rankings this week. If you wanted to pay the 7,000, you could pay up for Mahomes. He's been looking good, but Drake May. I don't know if he's on. Is he on the main slate for New England? He's a great play again.
Yes.
On Monday night, if you're playing Monday night, you got Mayfield. But you could play Knicks on Denver. But as from the GPP perspective, I'm really looking at that 5,800 price tag for Caleb Williams. Is really what I like.
Yeah, I really like the New Orleans, Chicago, Washington, Dallas game. So, of course, everybody else have already talked about that. They're going to like, hey, guys, let's jump on these. But guess what? We're the Ultra Contrarian show. We like to sway a little bit. But sometimes you can't pass up that 5,800. We got to eat the chalk so we can play with the rest of the place, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And remember, especially in cash games, it doesn't matter as much. But even in GPPs, it's fine to have chalk. You can have guys at 40% if you're going off. You don't want to get the guys at 40% that don't go off, because then you're kind of screwed. But if you have, like when we played Nakua, or we played these guys last week that went for 30-some points and they were highly owned,
like
that's
McMillan.
fine.
Like McMillan, he didn't really have the best overall game when we paired him with Bryce Young. But the fact that we got Bryce Young for 3% and we got McMillan for 18%, and that's Tataroa McMillan, the fact that we got both those, that's what makes cashing easy, is because we're getting the points and we're low owned, so we already beat you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like you're whipping my butt in the IDP league this week after I talk smack.
It's all about that Jamar Chase finally showing up. But hey, I put my
and Chase. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I literally put my foot in my mouth. I literally, on Tuesday, I was like, this is why you need Bijan Robinson. But Bijan Robinson, of course, this show, we've talked about him a lot. Jamar Chase shows up on Thursday. He must have watched that podcast on Tuesday, because he was pissed as shit catching them 16 balls going for 161, right?
It was
that's fine.
He couldn't miss. They couldn't miss. And Joe Flacco, man, if you check the Discord, I hit 5 of 6 on pick 6 and 4 of 6 on the other. And the one was Joe Flacco throwing an interception. He's my man. He led the Ravens to a Super Bowl. But you would expect him to throw 1 pick, and he goes 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I still hit 5 of 6 on pick 6, but was that close? Yeah. I was like, even if he has a good game, he's going to throw a pick, and he didn't. And Chase was just on fire.
Yeah. But here's what I said. When they were all live last week and they were talking, they were live on Wednesday, I said, Joe Flacco knows how to beat the Steelers. Joe Flacco has seen that Steeler defense, Mike Tomlin's defense, all these years. This is the thing that people miss on. They don't understand it sometimes, because they're just like, hey, I'm going to be smarter, and I'm going to look at all these numbers. Sometimes you just got to know a player's got a team's number. And Joe Flacco did it last year. Joe Flacco continuously is a thorn in the Pittsburgh Steelers' side, and he doesn't even play for the Ravens anymore. So
That's right.
what did your numbers tell you that, people? Did your numbers tell you that, people? Because I bet they didn't. I bet they didn't. And if they did, well, it don't matter because sometimes hot streaks exist. Oh yeah! Sorry, I didn't get the fight today. I have a lot of energy. I'm just like I was a little let down by the whole thing, man. They offered up a black belt, a former black belt to me, and I was like, bro. And we looked, and it would have been a free match at the end of the day, and everybody was trying to clean up. I was like, nah, man, we ain't running this. Anyway, let's move to running backs, my brother. Dude, you know, when we talk about a certain player on this podcast, those players seem to just show up and blow up, right? Well, this is it. This is it. And this team needs this man to dominate. And it is Saquon Barkley, 7,700 on DraftKings. Oh, you go give me Saquon Barkley in a game that the Philly Eagles need to win, in a game that they just got punked out, right? 7,700. Now, FanDuel was like, we're not playing that, so we're going to hold our fort, 8,700. But FanDuel or DraftKings was like, hey, we don't care about that guy no more, so we're going to be over here. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I love Barkley. I love Taylor. And I used to love the macho pick of the week, DeAndre Swift. But JCM has twisted me when we get to the macho pick, when we get to the ultra contrarian lineups, you will know who that replacement is. And it was because he's probably the last person that's left on this team. And we're going to go with that. What running backs have you been looking at, my son?
Well, you know, we were talking about that Washington game. I really like Williams on Dallas. He's got a good matchup. He's got 6 touchdowns now through 6 games. He didn't have a great week last week, only 13 attempts for 29 yards, but the week before, 29.9 DraftKings points, 16 attempts for 105 yards. He's got, he doesn't, he catches the ball some too. You know, last week he had 5 receptions on 8 targets. And he's going against Washington. It should be a good division game. I think they're going to give him the ball a lot. I think it should be a decent scoring game. But another guy I really like is Dowdle on Carolina. I actually like Hall too. I know you guys can't see me here. You can see my teeth. Spooky's Fuego Steve. Dowdle. He has been on fire. Rico Dowdle on the Panthers. 36.9 DraftKings points last week. 35.4 the week before. He has been on fire. 30 attempts last week. 30 attempts for 183 yards, right? That is just craziness. Yeah. So I really like him. And on DraftKings at 6,800, you know, you like Barkley. Yeah, I like Barkley too. But you can save, you know, $900 by going down to Dowdle. And if you put them both in their lineup, I like Dowdle and Williams in my lineup at 67 and 6,800. Save the 1,000. Yeah, I really do. And, you know, of course, Taylor, the high-end guys. Taylor's up to 8,800 on DraftKings. He's awesome. Jacobs, Green Bay. Is he in? Let's see. He's still questionable against the Cardinals. He's considered a true game-time decision, people. Mm-hmm. So you got to watch it.
And they've run him a lot. They run him a lot. Yeah. So they're probably going to take it easy. If you've seen a lot of the smarks in your seasonal leagues have been going and grabbing Wilson, the backup, and everything like that. And it's like, yeah, you could have fun with that. You could play with all that game. That's fine. But when, you know, maybe game day, make a difference. But we're going to hold fort in our own things. And it showed when, you know, I made that move from tight end or from Kamani Vidal on one of my lineups, which he blew up, right? Vidal blew up. I actually moved to, who did I move to? I moved to whatever running back, but I got up to Mayer. And that was, it was the Cardinals running back. No, it wasn't. It was Bam Knight. I moved up to Bam Knight. Bam Knight got me 12 or 13 points, and then Mayer kind of went off. So I kind of traded that tight end for that running back. So sometimes, like Steve was talking about, you got to get to the subs only Discord of Dr. Roto because I literally just changed my macho pick of the week today after my tournament. So this is what we do. We got to stay like a chameleon. Ooh, yeah, you got to move. But I love it.
That's
dude.
right. Yeah, and as far as some of the other running backs, if you're playing Monday night, White on Tampa Bay, you keep again, like I said, you go Brees Hall on the Jets. And honestly, I like Judkins on Cleveland. I really do. I think he's a good price. He's been playing. I get nervous about playing him on the Browns, but you said JCM on Washington. He's also a good play. So there's a lot of decent running backs. I don't think you have to either. You could go in the middle, yeah, there's watch that stuff. But there's some decent running backs. I'm not going to pay up for Barkley. I'm going to go Williams and Dowdle.
Yeah, and I get it. And like you said, around the $6,000 range, and it's kind of crazy. So it's going to be fun to see all that go down. But honestly, right now, there's some damn value, and we'll find it, and we'll talk about that when we get to those ultra contrarian lineups. All right, let's move to those. I know I'm so wild at my wildness. Let's move along. I don't care. Y'all about to see this. I'm stacking. We're going heroes this week, people. The ultra contrarian lineup is going heroes. Justin Jefferson, 7,600 on DraftKings, 9,000 on FanDuel. And I know that his 20 points may not be worth it on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, I'm willing to put 7,600 down with the savings that I already have with Caleb Williams to get to Justin Jefferson. Now, a couple other receivers, because this all changed. So, of course, a couple other receivers that I was looking at. One, of course, my boy, talking about Sutton, Quint Johnston coming back for the Chargers was another guy. Everybody's going to be on Rashee Rice. You know what? I normally would be on Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice was going to be the macho pick of the week, and I only pulled back because I don't want that exposure yet, because I will tell y'all when to play Rashee Rice, and it's not this week. This is a division game. If it gets bogged down, like one of those AFC North games, or like what happened to the Rams a couple Thursdays ago, right? Then you're going to be in trouble. And when you're in trouble, it's not going to work out. If Max Crosby is able to get that rush, and I know the Chiefs are on a roll right now, but this is a division game. These get really weird. I'm a little tentative going into that. I do like Mahomes, but for that, those are my couple plays, because I don't want to talk about the players that are already on my ultra contrarian lineup yet. Steve, who are you looking at?
Well, I think you're right. A lot of people are going to be on Rice, but I do think he is a good play. He's, he may be highly owned, but that's okay. I'm looking. So if I'm playing Williams at quarterback, I'm looking at a Dunze, 6,600 on DK. He's going against New Orleans. He didn't have a great week last week, but before his bye, he had 3 straight double-digit points, including a 34-point outing. I think he's due for a big bounce-back game, and I'm going to pair him up with Williams. And there's a couple other ones I like. I like Sutton on Denver. I think he's a good play. Waddle, I like Waddle, and I am, like you said, Justin Jefferson, CD Lamb. I really like CD Lamb. If you can afford CD Lamb, you can pay up for him. But I do like Rice, and then maybe you could, if you're playing my particular lineup, you can maybe run it back with Chris Olave on New Orleans. Something like that. Let's see.
Dude, I was just looking at him, bro. I was waiting.
Yeah, he's 5,400 on DK. Yeah,
he's
if you want to play Williams,
targets, they're playing him, man.
Yes, he got 10 targets last week. So look at these targets. Starting week 1, 12, 10, 14, 6, 11, 10. Those are huge targets. You're talking, and he's making the catches. He's so he hasn't exploded, but he has double-digit DK points in every game this year. Maybe he you know he doesn't. He only has one touchdown. Maybe he gets in the end zone. But if I'm looking at it, Chicago is the 24th ranked against the pass or whatever. So I think he can. You can really get back in that lineup. And at 5,400 on DK, I really like the price. Actually, if you look at the price for 6,600 for a Dunze, that's a big difference. So I like a lot of it.
Yeah. And, this is what really killed me with the Chicago lineup. Swift getting hurt. I was hoping for DJ Moore to be out, and then he's back. And then I was targeting Luther Burden. And so I was going to do the Williams, Swift, Luther Burden stack, and then all that happened. And I was like, you know what? This is smelling to high hell north, and I can't deal with it. And so I literally changed my entire lineups. But I totally agree with Olave. I think he was great. I was looking at Michael Wilson, and then all of a sudden Harrison's back. So when I say that a lot of people's information is already outdated, it's already outdated. We're here at almost we're going at 11 p.m. on the East Coast, and we've just had I just had a crazy day. I got a wife mad in the other room because she wants time with her husband, and I got my boy on Twitch throwing up 5K with DJ Magic Mike in the room. That's our guy, right? I got all these people waiting for me. I was in there all night. Well, we're doing this to make sure that y'all get the best and the latest news and DFS information, Steve. This is
all right. Tell her not to be mad at me.
Oh, she's not mad. She's not mad. Like, she understands, but I was almost tapped out. That UFC event almost tapped me out. But hey, let's do it.
All right. Wide receivers. And I have another wide receiver. I don't know. Pickens and Lamb, both on Dallas. I really like Pickens. Everyone's like CD Lamb. Look at Pickens' numbers. 11 targets. The week before only 4, but 11, 9, 9.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about the Washington Pickens. He's 7,300. But in Chris Kennedy's rankings, he's the number 11 in the PPR. Also, remember, people, when you go to Chris Kennedy's rankings, make sure you're clicking on PPR or half PPR or standard, depending which site you're playing. If you're doing a season long, yada yada yada. Make sure you click on that. But in the PPR, he's got him Pickens number 11, and he's got CD Lamb at 6. So they both could have big games. I think that Dallas Washington game is going to be a high scorer.
Yeah, and I agree, and totally, dude. This is gonna be, like I said, it's a hard week. It was a hard UFC card. It's a hard NFL card. This is where having a service like Dr. Roto, get to Dr. Roto today. Use code word WIN, and we will make you our rich friend. We have the right here to keep. Go on.
Yeah, look, I'm looking at the over under right now. 53.5. 53.5. If you see over 50 in the NFL, people, that is going to be a high scoring game. At least that's what the Sharps and the Vegas things. And we've been talking weeks, and we're talking at 49.5 being high, 49.5 being high. You're talking 53.5 points for the over. I haven't. I'm sure it's got to be the highest of the week. So target that game. You could target both sides of the ball. Yeah. I like the Dallas. So Dallas has got a lot of skill players, but maybe we can find some. Check Discord. Maybe we can find some Washington receivers that are cheap with Samuel out and McLaurin out and things like that. I don't have any of that I love right now, but you can play the running back or you can play the tight end Ertz or something.
Oh yeah. It's and like you said, trying to run in and be sneaky. Ertz would be hella sneaky. Speaking of tight ends, let's move along to tight ends. My tight end, which shouldn't go this was written down before the injury of David Njoku came out, is Harold Fannin Jr. 3,900 on DraftKings, 5,500 on FanDuel. Y'all know I punt tight end, but I'm not stupid. I feel like I need a little bit of that exposure. Unfortunately, my boy Mason Taylor will be getting some extra targets this week because last week the Jets found out why the Steelers got rid of Justin Fields, and they got beat up. This week, they don't have their security blanket in Garrett Wilson as part of that offense, which is going to bring up, this is why the Jets suck. And I'm going to say this right now. The Jets suck because you have one of the best running backs in the league that can catch passes out of the backfield, and you didn't throw him the pass at all in a game that your quarterback looked like shit. Like, what is wrong with you? What you can't and you don't throw it to your tight end. And the tight end is Mason Taylor. Because everybody and their family is going to be jumping on Harold Fannin. But as a nice way, I like the Mason Taylor. You brought up the game. Ferguson is going to be back at it. And I do love Trey McBride. What are some tight ends or some of those tight ends that are you looking at?
Yeah. So Taylor, again, we've talked about him a lot. Fannin. If you want to pay up for $5,700 for McBride, you can, but that's a lot of money to pay up. Ferguson's 55, Warren's 52. But check this out: we got Bowers. Bowers is probably not going to play. His backup, our boy Chris Kennedy loves his backup, Mayer at 35.
Mayer,
yeah. 3,500, and he's right there with Taylor at 3,400. And like you said, Njoku is out, so you gotta like Fannin. Oh, geez, wait, Ertz is questionable too. Is everyone in Washington questionable? Ertz is questionable.
I don't even know what's going on. That's gonna lead to some of my play later. I mean, everybody's on Luke McCaffrey now. Everybody's going to make that play. But the one guy for Washington, and I'm gonna just give it to you now, but he's not on my lineup, that I'm looking at is Jalen Lane. Jalen Lane he only got 2 targets last game. He got 1 catch. And this is like the perfect game. Now, the reason why I was looking at Lane is because I was around Dortch and Michael Wilson, because I was hoping that Harrison would be out, but he's not. So when we go back to the tight ends and we're looking at it, that's what makes McBride so special right now. And with Green Bay coming in here with maybe, if for some reason Josh Jacobs is out, it's going to be a throwing game a lot more, because he's going to use Wilson in the throwing game, et cetera, et cetera. And so that being said, when you flip it back, if that game tries to shoot out, then that offense is going to flow through McBride. And I know that Murray is questionable at the moment, so we might not get our guy again, Brissett. But what do you think about all that, man?
No, I agree. But I was sorry, I was half paying attention. I was messing with my lineup because I'm trying to give the people the best info I can.
You try. He's changing his lineup live right now. Well, he's gonna give it to you live as well too. But he's like, damn, he just said all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was on Michael Wilson. I was looking at Greg Dortch, but man, Michael Wilson was a huge draft cover for me in a lot of my leagues. So it's like I already been dialed in with Michael Wilson. I was waiting for the big week for Michael Wilson, and then this dude just want to come back from injury. Whatever. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but no, I liked your play from before from Justin Jefferson, so I was trying to see if I can get him into my DK lineup, and I actually can if you play Rice. So stand by, people, stand by.
Woo, we get it.
Yeah.
All right, let's ditch the tight end since we plap them anyway, and let's move to defense.
Yeah, I mean,
hey,
just remember, people, tight ends. Look, okay, just real quick about tight ends.
He's reeling it back.
All right. I just gotta tell you, you're gonna get points from your tight ends if you pick the right tight ends, but tight ends usually aren't gonna have monster games. You got to get lucky sometimes with the guys. We don't have any tight ends in the league right now that I'm aware of that are superstar, going to be 150 yards a game, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to hope for touchdowns, you got to hope for the catches. So, I'm fine if you wanted to pay up for McBride or something like that, but I'd rather just save the $2,000.
Exactly. And I'm not going to play around with that Washington game, even if Ertz is out. I'm not going to be looking at Yankoff, and sit it. I'm not looking at those guys. Look, I said Johnny Munt a couple of weeks ago, but you do remember that when I brought up my guy, where was he at? Where's he at? Right there. I can't even remember his name anymore. Mitchell Evans. When I brought up the Mitchell Evans touchdown, that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you just need that, but that's not happening right now.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's move.
So, what do you think about defenses? Yeah, what do you think about defenses this week? It's an interesting week for
Let's move
D's.
It really is. So I'm looking at the Giants again. I'm looking at the Giants again because they're playing Denver. Now I think Denver can move the ball, and I do think Denver can exploit the Giants defense, but I was looking at a cheap defense because I'm trying to talk about a defense that I can get into my ultra contrarian lineup, and we know that I punt defense. The Giants defense is 2,200 and 3,300. I really, and this is off of you, Steve, I really love the Tennessee Titans at home. I really love the Tennessee Titans at home. I know that everybody thinks that the New England Patriots are going to come in here and stomp them out. Maybe. But what if they don't? What if May's off? And everybody's like, oh, let's go in on Ramondre Stevenson. And, oh, fumble happens. Oh, and then Tennessee returns it for a touchdown. Right? So if that happens,
That's right.
and we all know Jeffrey Simmons is going to be up in the business, then I'm willing to get that 2,400 price tag. But right now, I'm looking at the Titans, Giants, and Cardinals, and I'm not scared to play the Raiders defense. Steve, who are you looking at?
I like the Titans too. I like to punt on defenses as well. But the Titans are a good price. I mean, let's see. They're not great, but New England's not a great offense. So yeah, you could play the Titans. You could even play the Cardinals if you want at 2,100 on DraftKings versus Green Bay. You're compared to say playing the Chiefs at 3,700, you would save $1,600. Are the Cardinals great? No, but they put up 5, 10, 6, 5, 6, 2. They're putting up some points. They have 11 sacks, 4 interceptions. And Green Bay's good, but they're not. I'm not fucking. Excuse me. I'm not in love with Green Bay or anything. So you could even go all the way down to the Cardinals. But I like Giants. I like Titans. The Panthers defense at the Jets. You could play them. You could play the Jets. There's a lot of defenses. I don't think you need to pay for the Chiefs at 37. You don't need to pay for the Packers at 36. You don't need to pay for the Broncos. Are they going to have good games? Very, very possibly. So if you have that money, you may want to pay it. But as we've talked about many times, defense is so, obviously we're in the beginning of the season, but we're kind of we're knowing who's the good defense are. But the touchdowns is how you get a lot of those points on DraftKings and FanDuel. Does the defense score a defensive touchdown, which is more of a random type path? You want the sacks, you want the interceptions, you want the fumbles, but getting those six extra points on a kick return, on an interception return is more of a random.
Yeah,
play.
It is. Yo, bro, guess what?
What?
Yes.
What?
What?
You know what happened?
What?
What?
Jalen Carter is just listed as of right now questionable.
Ooh.
If he misses, better fire up that Jordan Mason. Because without Carter, somebody was already targeting Justin Jefferson. The Eagles are going to get smoked. That game's going to be the secret shootout that everybody's going to avoid except the people that watch the Ultra Contrarian show, because the Eagles and my guy, my boy, if Carter's out, Taylor becomes the $6,000 running back you want. I'm just saying it right now.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
I just blew your mind with that. That just hit my phone right now, dude.
You're killing me. No,
I know I
like
do.
it a
I
lot.
throw you off, bro. I got ADHD sometimes. I just get wild. But when I see something like that, again, this is why, literally the NFL tried to outdate us while we're live. You ain't outdating us. I will beat you the same way I beat FanDuel and DraftKings. I'm out here just rolling, bro. What's up? I'm just okay. I'll stop.
Well, you just pay attention, people, and get that money, man. I'm still deciding my flex as we're speaking because this is such a weird week.
Yeah, it's like I said, you got to be a
chameleon. Ooh, yeah.
That's right. That's
Ain't
right.
nobody do that. Ain't nobody do that. Man, if I had better production and everything that everybody would do that, literally y'all just be on it, right?
Yeah. Hey, production, look at my end.
What?
I'm a ghost. A couple weeks early for Halloween. Fuego Steve, the ghost. But man, just listen, everyone. We're gonna give you some lineups coming up here. It's what I like right now. Check the Discord. I might change my mind in an
Yep.
hour. I might change my mind tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, and FYI, just a little bonus. We got the showdown tomorrow morning. What is it? 9:30 a.m.
Yeah. Rams,
Hey,
Jags.
Rams, Jags. It's an interesting game. You got some interesting plays in there. I'll probably post a lineup in Discord, so watch for that.
All right. Well, you know what time of the show it is. It's time for the Fuego Picks of the Week. Ooh, yeah. And of course, the Core 4 from Fuego Steve. Brother, take it away. Give me what you got.
So I'm definitely Caleb Williams and Odunze are in my core four. Play them, pair them up together. All right. And I just made a mistake. I love Williams on Dallas. Play Williams on Dallas. I almost made him my Fuego pick. And then I'm gonna go Olave. Run it back Williams for Chicago with Odunze. Run it back with Olave, and then Javonte Williams on Dallas as your core four right there. I really like that core four right there. That's what I like, and then you can do lots of stuff, around those four players.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. Again, this is why I love doing this show, and this is what Danger was talking about, man. He was like, bro, just what happens like between me and you, the way we talk at it, the way we attack players, the way that we're able to dissect and find the plays that we need and them be low owned has just been amazing for us. And and again, I will extend my thank you to you as well too. It's been great that we've been able to get together and do this and be able to give all of our subs, all of the pain bringers, everybody watching us, thank you for doing all this, man. We love it, man. But you know what time it is for?
And I promise I'll have my production value up a little bit better. I won't be this dark next week. But yeah, man. I mean, we've been doing well, and football's tough. I mean, they're all tough. And just remember, NBA starts Tuesday. The National Basketball Association coming back on Tuesday. Watch for me and Willie's cheat sheets.
Oh yeah. I mean, and you see, if y'all just jumping out, I mean, y'all just watched Doc, Willie, and Swami last night. Get on it, man. But all right, Steve, give us the Fuego Pick of the Week.
I'm going Rico Dowdle. Let's do it. I mean, ride the hot hand. If he has a bad week, hey, that's GP plea. That's how we do it, man. You go for it. 30 DK points 2 weeks in a row. Let's ride the hot hand. The Jets, what are they? Like they're in the middle of the pack against the running game, but Dowdle has been on fire. I'm going with him. Play him.
Yep. So you don't care if you don't care about Hubbard at all. You're saying they're going to split, but Dowdle's been the hot hand. Hubbard's coming back from the injury, and you're going to play Dowdle because nobody's going to play Dowdle.
I just really like him, and I mean, you can look at our optimizer. You look at Chris Kennedy's rankings. You look at all of our rankings. Chris has got him 13 in a PPR. I mean, DraftKings a PPR, number 13 ranked running back. I'll take it. At 6,800 again. Yes, I like Barkley. I love Taylor, but he's 2,000 less than Taylor. And now Taylor has 26, 31, 14, 35, 32 points. But again, Dowdle had 30-some points the past 2 weeks. Let's ride that hot hand.
Yes, my guy. See, it's so funny, man. We're good at what we do. And it's crazy how extreme we go some ways sometimes, man. And they just both be right. It's so fucking great. Ooh, that's
and just remember, just remember people, contest selection. If you're playing the Millie, it's going to be hard to win the Millie Maker when people are putting 150 lineups at $20 a pop. But get into some of the single entry stuff. Get into those 3 entries. I'm in one right now. There's a single entry. It still has 15,000 people. You don't have to do that single entry. Look for one that has 1,000, 500.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to win 4,000. You could win $400 off of $3. I'll take that.
Yeah.
But if you want to shoot and go for the 4,000, do that single entry, because then you're fighting fire with fire. And literally during this show, we give, instead of having to put 150 lineups and trying to match these optimizers, even though our optimizer has been pretty good, and all these professionals that have hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a weekend, you can get in these single entries for $3, $5, $10, whatever you want, $1 single entries, and you don't have to shoot for 4,000. Go for some of the smaller contests, because NFL, there's so many people that play. As the casual fan plays, our wives play, our girlfriends play, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When we get to the NBA, it's not like that for the NBA. It's a different animal, So
I'm a night guy only on NBA.
In the right count. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm a night guy, man. I was just popping in, man. You was going in. You could keep going for a second, and then we're gonna get into it.
This contest selection is key, and I'm not saying you can't put $20 in the Millie Maker, but remember, one lineup versus 150. You can do the math, people. You got to be right on that one lineup. And to win $1 million, even though I know someone that's done it, it is very, 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 very hard to do. So contest selection.
I was in the Millie Maker last week on FanDuel, and I had Puka Nacua go down. And, I'm literally 40 points out of first place, so I return a decent money. And I'm like, okay, it's cool, but again, say you go big, and with the people you're going up against, I went with one lineup against the Millie Maker. I had an injury. I'm lucky I won my money back and doubled up more than, right? But that doesn't always happen. So, all right.
Yeah. And if you throw $3 in a single entry and you lose. But then, hey, maybe you hit it, But again, contest selection, people. And if you have any questions, hit us up in Discord. I got a ton of, advice if you want.
So what's your lineup, my brother?
All right. Now, keep in mind, this is for now, okay? Because I've been messing with it as we talk. I love to make lineups. It's my specialty. Right now, we're going Williams at quarterback. We're going Dowdle at running back. We're going Williams on Dallas at running back, okay? We're going Adunze. We're going Olave. We're going Waddle at wide receiver at 6,300. Subject to change that one, okay? We're going Mason Taylor at tight end. This is where I'm running into issues. Do I play Scatterboo? I mean, Scatterboo has been on fire. 31 DK points last week. I don't know. But if you do play Scatterboo, then you can play the Panthers D. I kind of like that. But I sent you a lineup earlier that I kind of like too. But for right now, now let's say we were talking about Rice. A lot of people like Rice. Let's say you put Rice instead of Waddle. Well, all of a sudden you can go up to say Pickens at wide receiver and then drop the Panthers down to Titans. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that. If you like Rice this week, if you're watching and you like Rice, you don't always have to agree with us. Maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe you don't agree with me. But if you like Rice, put Rice in for Waddle, put Pickens at wide receiver, and then put Titans in defense.
There it goes. There it goes. Dude, you're about to just get a mindgasm, dude, bro, because you're going to laugh when you start hearing my stuff. Because when you get to my flex, you're going to be like, oh, man, literally everybody we talked about is right there. And it's literally Waddle, it's everybody. So, all right, let's do it. Let's get to the Ultra Contrarian lineups. Ooh, yeah.
It was a little hot in the UFC room. Yeah, he had the heat override. He was blowing his temper, his boy RDR lost. Yeah, but now we're going to win that money that the under won us, and we're going to go win the NFL tomorrow.
This is your Ultra Contrarian lineups. We're going to start with DraftKings. And literally, you're going to listen to this because that change that I talked about with Mason should probably happen, especially if Carter misses. Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson, Luke McCaffrey, Adonai Mitchell, Harold Fannin Jr., and I have Brees Hall because I'm swaying from everybody. But right now, Carter's out. I'm going Jordan Mason. Bam. Titans defense. Roll into the FanDuel side of things. Look, I'm about to get crazy. You got Knicks, and you got Bryce Young, and you got some other players right up in that area. But we're going Knicks, Barkley, Taylor, Jefferson, Adonai Mitchell, Luke McCaffrey. Have to go to Mason Taylor to get to Brees Hall, Titans defense, and let me see if I can get Jordan Mason in place of Hall while Steve talks about those lineups. How do you like them, brother?
Oh, I like him a lot, and I was just looking at our optimizer, which has been doing very well recently, by the way. So I like him quite a bit. I was looking at the optimizer. If you take some of our picks, let's say like I put Williams in there, I put Olave, I put Odunze, and it came up with Williams, Judkins, which I like, Galdo, okay, Olave, Justin Jefferson, Rice, Mayer, but you could change Mayer to Taylor, Odunze, and the Dolphins D. That's a pretty good lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And look, so in the lineup number 2, it put Mason Taylor. And then in lineup number 3, it did the double tight end. That's a way to win money in GPPs, people. Play 2 tight ends. A lot of people are afraid to play. So it gave us Taylor and McBride at flex.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yes. You saw that. You saw that, dude. Yes, dude. Yeah.
That's
See
right.
what I'm saying, bro? Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
that
dude,
is
that made my
definitely
day.
Yeah, if you put a tight end at flex, that is definitely a way to win money in GPPs because people don't want to play 2 tight ends. I just kind of put down tight ends a few minutes ago, but
We did.
that is a way that you.
But that was it. And the fact that you stumbled across that during this show, and I had that problem because, again, I was on DeAndre Swift. Guess who was next to him? Trey McBride, right? But then I was like, I want to get fancy. Go up to Brees Hall, get those catches. They're going to pass the ball to him. If they're going to give him 22 carries, can I just get 18 and 5 receptions? Like, give me that, you stupid Jets. This is why your coaches get fired, right? And I'm like, no, if Carter's out, I'm rolling. And guess what? On that FanDuel lineup, you could get Jordan Mason and he's $6,900. It gives you $300. You have $200 more. You could come off Bo Nix. You could go to Bryce Young, or you could take that 200 and you could go with the Jets defense or the Cowboys defense. But I'm sticking with the Titans defense, literally giving you a lineup that's exactly the freaking same on 2 lineups. That excludes a lot. That is just crazy. And you got Barkley, Taylor, and Jefferson. I don't care. I'm going to live and die by heroes. Because guess what? I did it last week, and I died by them because both them boys got hurt. Steve, it's been a hell of a show.
Yeah, and we ran a little long, people, and that's okay. But no, I'm really looking at Judkins. So I will be in Discord tonight, most likely, definitely tomorrow. Look for my lineups. Maybe I'll throw in a couple for you guys. You guys can decide. And hey, use the optimizer. Use our rankings. We got a couple guys that do good rankings. Listen to me and he. Listen to Doc. Listen to everybody. And then we're trying to teach you how to win. So you don't have to just say, oh, these guys like these guys. Learn from us each week. Try to take a little something each week. And that's how you can learn to do it. So, hey, when you're around, you can make lineups on your own.
That's right, man. That's what we do. We teach. That's why the office is always open. That's why I always say we have the right cure for any fantasy sport. That includes MLB, NBA, NHL, UFC, and the NFL, and heck, maybe NASCAR one day. But guess what? This is what we do. We're working hard for all of you. I love it, man.
That's right.
Thank you, Steve, for coming on, man. Give the people an outsee. Let's get out of here. Let's win some money tomorrow, brother.
Let's do it. The office is always open at Dr. Roto. And you get in Discord, you know me. You ask me a question at 3 a.m., I will get it answered in the morning, I guarantee. Sometimes I'll answer it at 3 a.m.
You know, I still love the floating head. The floating head was just funny as hell all night long. That was just great, man. Such a great day. You know, again, the UFC was hard, but we were able to win money. In the end, I'm going to take all that money and put it back into the NFL tomorrow. What we won last week is what we do. That's what we try to teach you. We try to take you on the ride, people. I say it all the time. That's another episode. Have a great day, everybody, and always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.